to gain weight back because it wants to get rid of those toxins and push it more out away from the organs. So that's why when you go on a diet, you will kind of what everyone calls plateau, and then you'll start to gain the weight back all by yourself. I mean, a lot of people always tell me that I always ate, but now I'm gaining the weight back and I don't know what to do. So a solution that a lot of us have is we just eat less calories, right? It's kind of what we do, just lower the amount of calories. But what happens is when you eat a lower amount of calories, your body metabolism lowers down with it. So what happens is you have like your metabolism is kind of like right here, and then your calories go lower than your metabolism. So then your metabolism lowers to the calories, and then you lower your calories, and metabolism goes lower. So what happens is it makes it nearly impossible to lose weight when your metabolism is very slow. So what you need to have happen is you need to raise the number of calories that you're eating so your metabolism goes up. That makes sense, right? Well, the first thing your body does is it says, wow, we have all these extra calories, we better store them up for a rainy day. So in with all those toxins that you're storing in your body goes all that extra carbohydrates and fats get stored in there too, because your body doesn't know that there's a grocery store in every corner and you can get food. Our body doesn't know that. So it keeps the metabolism really low. And then what do? We go on another diet, and so we lower the calories, and we actually match our metabolism again. So the metabolism never really gets back up to where it needs to be. So to increase your metabolism, you have to eat 2,000 to 2,500 calories every day, and you need to do that for 6 months to raise the metabolism up. So it takes a long time. So what happens on the Transform 30 program is it's really not a diet. It's a cleansing and rejuvenation program, and losing weight is just a side effect of the cleansing. So if you see the picture on the bottom of the graph there, as your toxin self up, and then you see your body detoxes itself naturally with no chemicals or additives or nothing genetically modified. And then as a kind of a side effect of becoming less toxic, the fat of your body gets smaller because you don't need it, right, for storage. And so you get smaller, and then what happens is you continue to in the rejuvenation stage, and you remain the weight that you should be. And not only that, but a much healthier form of yourself. So that's how the program works. Oh, here, I'll just pass that around, so just kind of keep it. Excuse me. So the next part is, what is the program? So we want to know what is the program. So this is the program. So today, there's actually 9 steps, but today we're only going to talk about 3 of the steps. But the whole program is, we want you to eat real food. That might seem kind of ridiculous, but the foods we eat today are processed. So when they do something to your food and change it, it's no longer real food anymore. It's something else made by a company. We also want you to supplement your real food intake with Juice Plus complete fruit and vegetable capsules and a drink, and we'll go over that. We want you to drink more water. So we want you to drink enough water. You look in the toilet, you see it's clear like water. That's what you should be seeing. Nothing there after you use the restroom. I want you to add exercise. We want you to not eat any wheat, not eat any dairy. And the reason is because our bodies biologically do not have the enzymes to break down wheat or dairy, so no one does. So we don't want you to have any of that. We want you to breathe or kind of de-stress, to get a full night's sleep, to assist your digestion by stop eating after 6. And then we eat a balance of calories that goes along with the amount of food that you're eating. So that's one. So the first section here is real food. That's what we'll talk about. So let's talk about what real food really is. So this is a real food pyramid. So real food, now you're probably saying, like, well, what do I eat now? You know, I can't have any wheat, I can't have any dairy. So like spaghetti's out, you know. It's not a vegetarian diet. It's not calorie restricted. You can use as many calories as you want, and they need to be mostly from plants. So if it kind of grows out of the ground or off a tree, then you can pretty much have that. And the rest, you just need some strategies to help you. So why is eating real food important? So the reason why it's important is real food is a natural detoxifier. So you don't need to take any fancy detox products. We just need to eat a lot of dark green leafy vegetables, like collard greens and dandelion greens, the things you eat every day. Those greens really help to detox your body. And then it also stabilizes your weight loss. So if you are eating all fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, then you don't have to worry about counting calories, because the real calories come in the foods that manufacturers make. And then it also, fruits and vegetables or real food, have a body rebuilding mechanism. So one of the main points of going through the 30-day challenge, which is what we're talking about, is we want to show you the direct correlation between the foods that you eat and how you feel. So the only way to do that is to clean up your diet for 30 days, and then you'll be able to see, oh yeah, really, every time after I eat spaghetti, I don't feel that great. Or, that ice cream was great for 5 minutes, but now 3 hours of agony. So we want you to really fully understand what that connection is. So the results of eating real food is it cleanses your body, sort of like the fruits are the soap and the vegetables are the scrub brush, if you think about that. It rejuvenates or rebuilds your body. So right now we're constantly tearing our bodies down and we're not doing anything to rebuild it. Fruits and vegetables are anti-aging and all of that. And then it reduces dis-ease from your body. So really, if you think about it, sickness or disease is really an uneasiness your body is feeling, and it's letting you know there's something that you're doing that's not right. There you go. So what about food quality? People are very worried about where the food's coming from, because we have a lot of scares, I guess you would say, in the news, and about how our food is contaminated and not safe for us. And so people are getting very worried about, is our food safe for us? And so that's what all the talk is about. When we talk about genetically modified foods, our organic foods, that's really addressing the safeness of our food. So the difference between organic and non-organic. So first of all, you need to know that in the nutrition department, there really is no difference between organic and inorganic, or even genetically modified. It's the same nutrients. I mean, it has the same vitamins A, B, and C. It has the same, carbohydrates and fats. What's different is the chemical load that's on top of the food. So the question just becomes, is if it changes the food, is it changing us? And that's one thing we're not clear on. There's a huge debate about it. So some people prefer to err on the side of caution, so they eat as many organic fruits and vegetables as possible. But that's really what all the talk is about food quality. So whether you should have organic or non-organic is based on this idea that organic is synthetic and chemical free. So it's not 100% synthetic and chemical free, because you could have like a whole crop of kale growing that's all organic, and the next door you could have a whole crop of kale, but they use herbicides and pesticides, and they spray it from an airplane and a nice wind blows and blows it onto the organic kale. That's definitely a possibility, but it would have less of a chemical load than if it was non-organic. Then also, if it's marked organic, it means it's genetically modified free, means they didn't do that. It's hormone free. It's usually grown on a family farm as opposed to a factory farm. It's healthier for the people who produce it. All those farmers bringing in all those toxins can't be good. It causes less waste. It also says if it's organic, it's humanely treated. So if it's like chickens or beef, it's like humanely treated. There's no growth hormones in there. And also, if it's an animal like organic chicken, it means that the chicken isn't eating the parts of another animal in their food supply, because that's what they do. So non-organic means that we don't know where the food comes from, because they take factory farms and then they mix all the vegetables together from different farms. So it's really even hard to determine what farm is a problem. Also, they use all kinds of herbicides and pesticides, chemical fertilizers. It's genetically modified. There's food dyes, and there's also chemical stabilizers on that food. So that's kind of the difference between the two. So how much food should we eat? That's a question. So the USDA, or the federal government, tells us how much food we should be eating. So here's what they recommend. And so they actually recommend that men eat 2,500 calories and women eat 2,000. Pretty interesting, isn't it? So, I mean, and on this is the new food pyramids, a plate, if you haven't seen it. And on the plate, I want you to notice that 3/4 of it comes from a plant. I mean, grains are plants, fruits are plants, nuts are plants, fruits are plants. So there's really just a little bit there that's for your protein, so just 1/4 of your plate. And actually, the American Heart Association says that the meat on your plate, or like chicken or fish, should be the size of a condiment. So if a condiment is like a relish, so that would be like pickles. So as many pickles as you would pile on that plate would be about the size of your meat that you should be eating with your meal. Kind of give you an idea. And then dairy here is off the plate, so you kind of see that. So how much is average? So if you're thinking now, like, well, how am I doing? This is what I should be eating. Like, how am I doing compared to everybody else? That's what I always like to know. So on average, people eat between 3,800 and 4,000 calories a day. So that's a lot. So the USDA said for a long time, 2,000, 2,500, and we're eating 3,800 to 4,000. Also, the number of fruit and vegetables, so if you counted those up today already, we're eating on average 3. So if you add fruits and vegetables together, the average person is eating 3. And then each day, 1 in 4 of us visit a fast food restaurant. That's 25% of the population. And the number of calories in a fast food meal on average is 835 calories. So if you're eating 835 calories for lunch, you can pretty much easily see how breakfast and dinner can kind of be a problem. So that's why it's important. Eat as much food at home as you can. That's great, thanks. So what happens when you don't eat real food, right? So we can talk about that a little bit. So Dr. David Katz is a great resource for this. He's a very famous doctor out of Yale Griffith Hospital, and he does a lot of research on nutrition, specifically for children. And here's what he says. This may be the first generation of children who have shorter lifespan than their parents. So that's pretty big when you think about it now. Kids aren't going to live as long as their parents, may even die before their parents now. So that's a very big issue, and it's related to our nutrition. So for adults, 75% of all chronic diseases are preventable. So if you think about it, unless you're hit by a train, everything else that takes you to the emergency room has probably been happening over a period of time. And over a period of time, it's called chronic, right? So, for example, your heart attack doesn't start with your first little chest pain. Your heart attack starts with your first French fry. If you think about that. So for adults, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 2 men have cancer. So think about that. It's an overtime situation, which means that most cancers are preventable. Heart disease is 1 in 3. So that means heart disease is over time, that's preventable. Diabetes, they think by everybody born by 2015, 1 in 3 of us will have diabetes. That's a lot. I mean, 1/3 of all the kids, really. So that's a lot. And that's over time. It's not immediate. So that also is preventable. And then obesity is 1 in 3. And then chronic pain is 16 million. So really, a lot of us have aches and pains and don't feel that good. There's new diagnoses like fibromyalgia and lupus and a lot of autoimmune disorders that have aches and pains attached to them. And remember, if it's over time, it's really impacted by the foods that we eat. And in children, by 12, many of them have hardening of the arteries. And there's even on record now 16-year-olds having open heart surgery based on their risk factors, which means they had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, they're overweight. I mean, that's pretty huge. They say that from the time you're diagnosed with diabetes, that's 10 years to your first heart attack. So now children that are like 5, 6 years old are now getting that adult type 1 diabetes, which means by the time they're 16, 17, they'll be having open heart surgery too. So it's a pretty big problem. A third of us are overweight, and then 50% of us born after 2000 will develop diabetes, the children, and then 25% of children take prescription medications. That's kind of crazy. Yeah. Kind of making ourselves crazy here. So what's happening? What's happening is we are experiencing poor health. So this is how you know you're in poor health. You have low energy. So if you're feeling tired right now, you have a bad sign. You don't sleep good at night. Like, when you go to bed, like, are you knocking out? Are you tossing and turning, waking up all night? That could be related to the foods that you're eating. Digestive issues like stomach problems, gas, belching, upset stomach, feeling bad after you eat. Aches and pains, high blood pressure, allergies, or a lot of infections or sinus infections. Lack of focus, like if you have trouble, you may have noticed after you eat certain foods, you kind of can't pay attention that good, or you're extremely tired. Feeling stressed, and then poor weight control. And what is that costing us? So that's, not only is it costing you poor quality of life because you're not feeling that good, but it's also causing you to miss a lot of work. So a lot of people, when they miss work, they don't get paid. So it's causing you to lose your paycheck. And not only do you lose your paycheck, but then you get to spend money on doctor bills and prescriptions. So it really is costing you a lot of money. Thanks. So we recommend to help you with your whole food selection, Juice Plus. Juice Plus is a natural detox, a healthy weight loss, and a body rebuilding program. And it's totally safe. I don't know if a lot of you heard about that New York situation where the Attorney General asked a review board to go into, like Walmart. Did you hear about that? Walmart and Target. I think it was Walmart, Target, GNC, and Walgreens. And this review board went in and took those, the brand of those companies. So it was like Walmart's brand. And they tested the herbs to see if what was in the bottles, what they said was in the bottle. So for example, if you bought valerian, so they would test, which is an herb for sleep. So they would check valerian, and there was no valerian in there. And so they checked several different brands of Walmart and also GNC and Walgreens and Target, and they found that in there was not anything. So from one point of view, that's it's bad because they're stealing from you. You think you're buying something you're not getting. So that's bad. And then plus you're wasting your money. So you wouldn't be buying that if you didn't think it was good for you. And then also from a medical point of view, if it's not in there, what is in there? Like, is it something you could be allergic to, or something that could hurt you? Or what if you decided to take St. John's wort, which is really great for depression, and you wanted to take that instead of a prescription medication? But if you took one that didn't have anything in there, you wouldn't even know if it would help you or not. So this is very huge. So you need to know that Juice Plus is totally safe. It's labeled by the FDA. It's actually right here. I'll pass it around. And you can see on the food labels, it's nutrition facts. The FDA did that. It's also GMO free, so it doesn't have any herbicides, no pesticides, or anything like that. Here's this one right here. You can look at it. It's food, so you want to look on the label and make sure there's really food in there, and the FDA says the food is really in there. It also is NSF certified, which is a Swiss agency that certifies companies to make sure the production is safe and nothing is contaminated in the plant. They are also, that's the same certification that Olympic teams for athletes need to be able to take a supplement, so that's on there too. And the Austrian Olympic team takes Juice Plus and endorses it, and the Juice Plus company also sponsored the Olympic teams in Switzerland this year. So there's it's very safe. They also do a big children's health study, which shows that children who take it, they feel better, they do better in school, they miss less, they are less sick, and it's totally safe for children, and it's part of that study. So you need to know that we wouldn't recommend anything to you that's not 100% safe. It's also kosher certified, and it's been certified by Consumer Labs, and it has a money-back guarantee. So Juice Plus is really whole food. So let's talk a little bit about gluten, because that's what our class is about today. This is one of 4 classes, and this is our wheat-free, gluten-free class, and the next one is dairy. So we'll talk about dairy. So what's the story on gluten? That's what everybody wants to know. So here it is. This is the down and dirty of it. So gluten is a protein that's inside of some plants. So sometimes in wheat, sometimes in something else. It's in some grains, but it's basically a plant protein. That's really what it is. So why should we avoid it? That's the big thing. So what's the big deal about gluten, right? So here's the big deal about gluten, is that when you eat things that contain gluten in them, or wheat, it gives you gastrointestinal distress, like IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, colitis, like bowel issues. It also impacts your digestion. So it causes you to have indigestion, like bloating, gas, anything like that. Also that like tight feeling like in here. Some people gives diarrhea, some people constipation. It impacts diabetes. It also impacts autoimmune function, skin conditions. It can make you extremely fatigued after you eat it, and it also cause you to gain weight. So what's all the talk? So what I did is I kind of looked over 2 schools of thought. So there's a medical community thinking, and then there's the biochemist thinking. So the medical thinking is this, is that gluten's not a problem for anyone, except if you have celiac sprue, which is a disease that means it's autoimmune disorder, that means you can't eat gluten. Or if you have a gluten allergy, maybe you can't have it, or gluten sensitivity. So really, the medical community feels there's not a problem with wheat, and there's not a problem with gluten. However, the biochemists or the biologists have a different school of thought. And what they say is everyone has a problem with gluten. And the reason why we have a problem with it is we don't have the enzyme to break it down. So really, it's not some of us who have the enzyme and some of us don't have it. It's just some of us have celiac sprue and some of us don't. But all of us can't break down gluten. So everyone who eats gluten is impacted by it. And you might know that if you have any of these things over here. Okay? So is gluten-free a healthier way to eat? That's kind of other question. I had someone call me and say, hey, you know what? I found gluten-free cake, at the market, and I'm wondering, should I bring it to class? That's what they want to know. So this is a healthy eating program. So just because it's natural or says organic or perhaps gluten, doesn't mean it's healthier for you, just saying. And also, this is a healthy eating class, so we don't want you to get crazy looking for gluten on all the labels and everything. If you would just use wheat as your guide and avoid foods that have wheat in them, I think that's close enough unless you have celiac sprue. So whether gluten-free is healthy or not kind of depends on your food choices. So if you buy gluten-free products, they're going to always be more money because it's all the rage. And so I was looking at some organic chips the other day, and it said gluten-free, just so you know, they're corn chips. So there's really never any gluten in there to begin with, but now it is gluten-free, so they can cause more money. So you want to be a good shopper. Also, sometimes gluten-free products are more processed. They may have more chemicals because we want to try to minimize the chemical exposure. And then also the artificial sweeteners, which are very toxic, and also maybe higher in fat. So just because you're eating gluten-free doesn't mean it's healthier unless you stick to the healthier food choices. Okay, so what foods did I eat? That's the whole, now I've like told you, don't eat any spaghetti, right? I don't have pasta, no couscous, right? What do I do now, right? That's the whole thing. So let's talk a little bit about what you do now. So just so you know, there's like a plethora of grains available to you that you would never even try because we're kind of stuck in the pasta department. So over on the table in the back there, I have a few products you can take a look at, just to kind of give you an idea. There's like rice. Does not have gluten in it, so just about any kind of rice is a good choice. Also, there's ancient grains that are good choices as well that probably a lot of you don't try, like quinoa or aromat or kalmuch, or there's wheat berries. There's like other products try that maybe you haven't tried before. And they're not very expensive, so what I recommend is you invite your friends over, try these weird foods with you. So if you don't like it, you're not stuck with a whole pot of it. And then your friends can enjoy it with you. So these foods are gluten-free, fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds. Like we forget about those, right? Nuts and seeds, we think they're fattening, so we shouldn't eat them. So nuts and seeds, soy is gluten-free, oats are good for you, fine for you to eat. Beans, any organic meat or poultry or fish is not a vegan diet here. You can use milk substitutes. So like a almond milk, like we have here today, and then also you can have drinks, you know, coffee, tea, juice. So you are going wheat free, so some beers have wheat in there, so you might want to avoid that and go straight for the vodka, right? So you want to avoid these foods right here. So you want to avoid wheat and barley, rye, white, and wheat flour. So that means like no pasta, unless it's made out of rice. So there are rice noodles that are really good.
Tinkiata brand is the
I'm sorry?
Tinkiata brand is my favorite.
Tinkiata brand?
Tinkiata.
Oh, for rice noodles?
It's brown rice. Yeah.
Oh, it's a brown rice? Oh, that sounds good. Well, I'll try that. And then some cereals are also gluten-free. And then there are foods that have gluten in them, but you don't need to worry about it. Like some salad dressings have gluten in there too, but I don't want you to go crazy with it. We just want you to avoid wheat. That's the main thing. If you do that, you'll be getting rid of most of it. So that's a little bit about gluten, and I will be available after to answer any questions that you have. I mean, it kind of stumps you at first. When someone says, don't eat these things, and you think, oh my God, I don't have anything to eat. But remember, we want you to add in more fruits and vegetables because on average, people are eating 3, right? 3, and we want you to eat 2,000 calories worth of them. So we want you to eat a lot more. So water, yeah?
We don't have the enzyme to break down gluten. Where does it go?
It goes into your fat. It's stored. Everything in your body that it doesn't recognize. So every time you eat something that your body doesn't recognize, it goes into your body fat, and then it stores it because your body fat is a storage location. So everything goes there. We don't know. There was a study done that I saw on public TV that talked about Alzheimer's and why we have so many people now getting Alzheimer's. And they did all of people's brains that have Alzheimer's, and they found an unusual amount of lead there. So they want to know, how are we getting lead in our brain, because we don't have lead paint anymore in our toys or anything. And they discovered that the lead's coming from our medications. So for us to absorb our medication, the lead goes into our body and helps us get the chemistry of the medication. Then the lead separates away and gets stored in fat, and it just so happens it loves our brain. And so it is stored there. So your body thinks later it'll be able to do something with it, but it can't, because we don't have that mechanism. So that's why it's important to pay attention to what our body cannot break down. And we don't expect you to be 100%. I mean, there's no way to not ever eat any food. I mean, there probably is a way, but not here for most of us, to eat everything that doesn't have any chemicals on it, or breathe air that doesn't have any chemicals. I mean, we're loaded with that stuff. So what we have to do is do something to try to offset that chemical load as much as we can, and that's how we take care of ourselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got depressed because I have a wheat sensitivity, and so I was eating a lot of rice, and I read this article about arsenic in rice, and I'm just like, oh.
Well, that's why, right, arsenic, right, it's true. Well, here's the thing also, there's actually arsenic in apples.
Right, yeah,
So, I mean,
in the seeds.
sometimes we have all of the minerals and all the biologics are inside of our food, but they're perfectly balanced so that our bodies can use what it needs. I mean, when you take a vitamin C tablet, they say, oh, well, you to eat as much vitamin C as you need, but your body gets rid of the rest. I think you've probably heard that. Well, that's not true of an apple. I've never heard of anyone ever saying you eat an apple, your body uses what it needs and gets rid of the rest. No, it uses all of it. It uses the entire thing. So the problem with arsenic is they're like putting it on the rice. It's kind of an issue. So, I mean, it's hard to avoid all chemical exposures. I mean, people do it, and it is a full-time job. I mean, it becomes huge. So a solution that I think we can all do is to try to eat all the foods that naturally detox our bodies so that we're putting it in and taking it out at the same time. Otherwise, you have no transportation for the chemical load. So you're just storing all those chemicals up and you don't have any way to transport it out. So you need to look towards getting it out. So a way to do that, what the USDA says, is to eat 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every day, and that's your transportation out. But it's hard for us to do it. That's why we recommend Juice Plus, because it's an easier way to do it. So let's talk about water, because water also is transportation out of your body. So I think everybody knows that when your flushes out the toxins. I think we've kind of all pretty much learned that. So first we have a little joke. So, dear optimist, pessimist, and realist, while you guys were busy arguing about the glass of water, I drank it. Sincerely, opportunist. So does drinking water really help us lose weight? I mean, you hear that a lot. I mean, just drink a lot of water and you lose the weight. And, there are some people who do report they lose when they drink water, but nobody ever believes that, right? But it is true. It does work. One of the reasons why you lose weight is it boosts your metabolism. So it actually raises your metabolism, which is good. That's what you want. It acts as an appetite suppressant. So if you're all filled up on water, it's pretty hard to overeat. It cleanses your body of waste. So it does do that. And then it reduces your disease risk. There's actually some forms of cancer that are connected to not drinking enough water. And I was teaching a class like this, and a woman told me she had migraine headaches, and she had gone to neurologists and all doctors, had all kinds of tests here, and no one could say why she was having migraine headaches, and she was put on all these medications and nothing helped her. So she went to Mayo Clinic, and Mayo Clinic told her she was chronically dehydrated, and all she needed to do is drink more water and her headaches would go away. And so they hooked her up to some IV fluids. In a few hours her headache went away, and as long as she keeps drinking a lot of water, she doesn't have any more headaches. So if you think about that, all the money she spent on all those tests and all those medications, and all she needs to do is drink more water. Or what about the people who get cancer from not drinking enough water? So really, I mean, those two reasons right there, I mean, who knows how much better you feel if you're just drinking water.
There's a book out called You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're not sick, you're thirsty? A book. Wow, we'll have to get that book. That sounds good. So you know how much water to drink. That's everybody wants to know. So there's a calculation if you want to figure it out. So the calculation is you take your body weight. So like say mine, 100 pounds, right? And you divide it by 2, so that means 50, right? So that means I should drink 50 ounces of water every day. That's how much I should drink. So if you want to know, like in glasses, so you divide it by the size of your glass. It's important. So nobody uses the 8-ounce glass anymore. I mean, it's pretty small. So you would divide it by 16 maybe, or 12, because that's how big your water bottle is. So for me, it's like 4 water bottles a day. So to kind of help you keep track, that's one of the keys, is you might try measuring out the water you're supposed to drink every day, and then put in a pitcher, and then at the end of the day, see if it's gone. And if it's not gone, then measure out the water staying poured in that pitcher too. And that's how much water you should drink the next day.
You're saying a half an ounce per pound of weight? Is that what you're saying?
It's
Yeah.
Half an ounce?
yeah, I guess that's what it comes out to. Yeah.
Go the other way.
So anyways, some things to think about while you're getting dehydrated, you're probably thinking, wow, I could use a drink right now. Is every time you do something that dehydrates you, you need to drink more water. So for example, in the morning when I get up, I like to have a big cup of coffee, not like a little cup, but a big cup. And so that's 16 ounces of coffee. So I need to replace that with 16 more ounces of water. So when I drink a cup of coffee, I need to drink a water because I dehydrated myself with that coffee. So if you drink tea or soda, that's also dehydrating. So just think about that. And then if you exercise, like when you go to the gym, you want to drink 8 ounces for every 20 minutes. So that's a bottle and a half if you drink 16 ounces for a 40-minute workout. So the question then becomes, well, how much water do you not drink until you get sick? Right? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. How much water can you get away with not drinking? And some of us may already have the answer to that, because if you go start tomorrow drinking, how much water you should be drinking and do it for the next 3 or 4 days and you feel 100% better, you know right away what's happening to you. So that's the water calculation. So then the next question becomes is what water should I drink? So everyone's like, well, what about, should it be distilled? Should it be reverse osmosis? Should it be bottled water? Should it be from the tap? And what about the chlorine? And you know, people get very worried about water and where it comes from. But my general rule is whatever water you'll drink, just drink that. So if you prefer bottled water, drink that. If you prefer well, that. If you prefer to have a reverse osmosis, drink that. I mean, having a lecture on water is an entire hour. So really, any water you drink is great. So if you're not used to drinking water, then this is kind of an issue. So what I recommend is you start a little bit and kind of work your way up. I kind of like to think of it as one simple change. So you can start by just adding an ounce of water every day and then go to 2 ounces and 3 ounces. Because you probably aren't drinking it because you don't like it. It doesn't taste good to you. So you have to get used to the taste. So, you know, you start a little and you add up, and over the course of 10 or 15 days, at the end of that, you'll be drinking a nice bit of water, and also you'll think it tastes pretty good. So that's a strategy for you. So we're actually getting close to the wrap up. So let's review a little bit of what we talked about. So we talked about food, and if you can't do that, then we recommend a whole food supplement, and the one we recommend is Juice Plus. It comes in fruit, vegetable, and vineyard. It also comes in a bar, and there's a complete shake that's also part of the program. We recommended that you drink water at least enough to where you pee in the toilet, it's clear. So now you'll all be detectives of your toilet. You need to add exercise, so not a lot, but some. Do a little walking if you can. I like the what I call the 5-60 program. So every 60 minutes, you get up and do 5 minutes of exercise. If you do that, of course, the 8 hours is 40 minutes. It's pretty good. 5 minutes, you could do 5 minutes. Okay, so then we want to try to reduce wheat as much as we can. Or for the Transform 30 challenge, the 30-day challenge, we want you to take wheat totally out. We want you to reduce dairy, or for the 30-day challenge, we want you to take it totally out. We want you to breathe, remember, a little stress management, get a full night's sleep, assist with your digestion by stop eating after 6 at night, and then balance your calories. So the next class will be going over the avoid dairy. So to help you, we've introduced a program called Transform 365. And there'll be a video that will attach to the website so you can watch it. If you fill out the little form here and give me your email, I'll just email you everything so you have it. And the video talks about the Transform Slide. So the Transform Slide is a program that I came up with. So the Transform 30 program is a Juice Plus company program, and it was developed by Dr. Mitra Ray, who's a biochemist. And the Juice Plus company came up with a program called Transformation, or Transform 40. And then they came up with a program called Healthy Living Rules. So we actually got all those programs together so that you can be on a program for the rest of your life. So the Transform 30 Challenge is a 30-day challenge. Remember, to help you see the connection between the foods that you eat and your health. And after that, then you would move towards the Transform 40, which is a 6-week program. And then Healthy Living Rules is the program that you would follow for the rest of your life. And how it works is like this. For me, I went on the Transform 30 program once, and I lost 20 pounds in a month. Then I said, well, now I'm kind of used to it. So I'll do another month. And so I did another month, and I lost 10 more pounds. Then I went on vacation to visit my son for a month. And so I was eating food they ate. So I thought, well, I will just slide myself over to the Healthy Living Rules program. So in the Healthy Living Rules program is a modification of the Transform 30. And I followed that when I was on vacation for a month and lost 6 more pounds. So you can slide along the program. So here's the difference in the programs. So the Transform 30 program is the no wheat, no dairy, right? No preservatives, no sugars, that kind of thing. And it also is the juice, includes the Juice Plus capsules and the complete drink, which is 2 shakes a day. The Transform 40, or the Complete Transformation, includes, it's kind of a lower down, like a lower version of the Transform 30. So instead of no dairy and no wheat, it's like minimize it. So you try to stay away from it as much as you can. And then you have 1 shake a day as part of your program, and then regular food for the rest of the day. And then the Healthy Living Rules program, 1 shake every 3 or 4 days. So you still try to avoid dairy and wheat as much as you can, because remember, you can't metabolize that, but it's a ramped down version. Does that make sense? So you can kind of make it match your lifestyle. And then we put it all into 1 book, which is this book right here. So when you sign up for the program, you get all 3 programs. So it makes it really easy for you to move along in the program. And then we also help you with it. So there you go. So what else you get is, I wrote this book called What's on Your Plate, Guide to Healthy Cooking. And it's right here.
Did you look that book?
Yeah, I wrote this book. It's right here. So I'll pass this around for you so you can take a look at it too. And what is How to Have a Healthy Kitchen? So it's really not recipes so much as it is how to read food labels, how to avoid gluten, how to go to the grocery store, what kind of things you should have in your kitchen so you can eat healthy foods, what to put in your pantry, that kind of thing. So it helps you get your kitchen ready for buying foods and helps you determine what foods to buy. That comes with the program. And then also a smoothie book. So we also email you a smoothie book, and you get to download it into your own house. You can put it in a notebook, and it has hundreds of smoothie recipes that you can try something new every day. And we also have a website that you can go to that's on Facebook, a Facebook community, where what we do is, as we do these classes, we start posting according to the class. So now if you're on Facebook, you can go to Transform 365 Community, and you'll start seeing all kinds of gluten-free things they do to help you follow that program, along with recipes and that kind of thing. And of course, we want to hear from you too, because we want to hear how you're doing as well. So for maximum results, we recommend the Juice Plus product. And we have over here smoothies for you to try, so you can see what they're like. And we also have some bars I can chop up for you. Here's why you would want to go on the program. Is when you take Juice Plus, it's just like eating 50 different fruits and vegetables every day. So all the health benefits of eating all those fruits and vegetables you would get. So even if you could eat them all, there's really no way to eat them all, but you would have to eat them in a wide variety, fresh and raw, every day in order to get full nutrition. So when you eat Juice Plus, you're getting all of these different fruits and vegetables here. And then in the drinks, you're getting the ancient grains as well. When you do that, it reduces abdominal fat. So like in here, And almost everyone who goes on the program feels right away relief in this middle area. So you don't have that full feeling anymore. You have improved recovery from exercise. You have reduced inflammation. So a lot of aches and pains like arthritis, that kind of thing, gets better when people take Juice Plus. Your skin improves. It improves your microcirculation. So it makes your skin pink and look really healthy. It also helps reduce sick days. It helps people who get flus and colds, they tend to get less of those. And when they do get them, it gives it to them for less duration. And then also helps circulatory function and your heart, circulation, gum health, improved antioxidant status. I mean, there's a giant list here. There's like 30 medical studies on Juice Plus that talks about how it helps your body get healthier. So let's talk a little bit about the success stories, because people are having a lot of success. And so we've had about 40 people in our area right now. And I felt like it was important to have folks in our area be the folks that we talked about. So this is the success. So this is Marie right here. And this is her before and after picture for just 30 days. So you can see Marie right there. Then right under Marie is Deb. And she lives in the area, and this is her 30 days. So in 30 days, they lost 10 or 15 pounds. I mean, that's really great when you think about it. And then here is Deb Sanderson, who has been with the program since March, since I have, and she's done really great. You can see that. And on the bottom is Rain Adams, and she's lost a significant amount of weight. And this is her in 30 days. So this is all people in 30 days that have been on the program. This is Pam, who lives in our area. She's had a lot of success. She's been on the program, I think, 4 or 5 months now. And she loves it. She says it's been life-changing for her. And this is Ross down here. You can see Ross, and he's lost a lot of weight. He's actually, he's my intern and now great friend, and he's been with me quite a while. He's lost quite a bit of weight on the the complete transformation, which is that middle level. So you can see that people in our area are really getting healthier. And then for me, our family has always had issues around food. My husband eats too much. My daughter eats too little. Our kids had attention deficit hyperactivity, which is part of the eating problem. I had an eating anorexia when I was young, and as I got older, food became a pretty big focus. So for our whole family, food has been a huge issue, and we've struggled with it all of our kids' life. So when we learned about the Transform 30 program, it really was life-changing for us because it helped us figure out how to eat healthier. And for me, it allowed me to eat more food because I realized then that all the dieting had really hurt me over the years. So we want to ask you to think about now what matters most to you, and what is your success story going to be? Because that's really what we want. Is we want your success story. So the last slide is this one. So with you. You have some material. So you have the one picture with the girl, and it has a picture, it has everything you get with the program, and then it has the picture of the people slimming down. So when you leave here today, you can explain this with the Transform 30 program, as you have it all right there. The other sheet we have is one that's called One Simple Change. And so for the one, do you have that? It's like orange. Orange and big. You didn't get it? Does somebody have one? There. Yeah, here. This right here. It's this one right here. It's like this. If you didn't get it, we'll make sure you get one before you go. And here's what we'd like you to do. Is we'd like you to think about today, now that you know the program, what one simple change can you make this week? So this is a little chart for you to kind of keep track of that. And we won't, we're not going to quiz you or anything like that. We're not going to check with you next week to see if you did it or anything like that. But if you do pick something, I think it'll be great for you because you can see one little change can make a huge difference for you, but you gotta get started. I mean, that's the main thing. So, I think that wraps up our presentation. Does anyone have any questions, or can I answer anything for you, or, yeah?
Here, just a sec. Scott? Do we want the questions recorded?
Oh, I don't know if the people who are doing the webcast have any questions, you can contact us and we'd be glad to answer any questions you have. And
Interesting.
we will display a phone number or an email website that you can contact us through the website, and we'd be glad to answer any questions that you have. And we will be doing the same webcast next week, on next Sunday at the same time. We're going to have our class too.
Same station.
Yeah, and so it seems to be a good time for all of you. And we'll be talking about dairy free. And then also, if our viewers want to go to Transform 365 Today Community on Facebook, you can ask your question. Okay, anyone else? Any